The story of the Z-Tune begins in 2000 at the annual Nismo festival. At the event's highly anticipated tuner battle segment, Nismo entered their own iteration of a tuner GTR. Pumping out 441 kilowatts, it was known as the Z1 Z-Tune prototype. It absolutely obliterated the opposition, some of which included Japan's most hard-tuned GTRs. The prototype was a huge crowd hit, and after its enormous success from the event, Nismo gave the green light to investigate whether it was feasible to produce a street-legal version. 3 years later, after the hype surrounding it fell off the radar, an all-new prototype, the Z2 prototype, emerged. Eager to see what it could do, Nismo shipped the Z2 to the Nürburgring in Germany for testing on the 24.4 kilometer circuit. The Z2 must have proven well, as a year later the Z2 engine was used in one of Nismo's race cars to compete in the 2004 Nürburgring 24-hour endurance race. It triumphed in its class and finished notably in outright 5th place. With such public praise and successes under its belt, in 2005 it was announced in order to celebrate its 20th anniversary, Nismo would create 20 road-going Z-Tunes. As production of the R34 had ended in 2002, there were no brand new platforms it could build off. This meant Nismo had to turn to the second-hand car market. Yes, all 20 Z-Tunes are actually built from second-hand cars. But don't worry, there were strict requirements to which the cars must have met. They all must have had no body damage, the chassis had to be absolutely straight, and all must have clocked up less than 30,000 kilometers. Each GTR was stripped to a bare shell, allowing Nismo's top engineers to strengthen and fortify the inherent weak points of production cars. Carbon fiber components are normally given the task of replacing heavy components, but the Z-Tune utilizes a technique borrowed from more prestigious race cars. Carbon fiber has been bonded to the strut towers, transmission tunnel, front floor section and boot area for lightweight strengthening. The Super GT inspired guards extend an extra 15mm to accommodate for a wider footprint from the rolling stock. With the addition of brake ducts and the front diffuser, the Z-Tune produces 2.2 times more downforce than a regular R34 GTR. With no expense spared, the suspension and braking package was sourced from only the best manufacturers in the world. Brembo 6 and 4 piston calipers made it to immense 365mm and 355mm rotors perform all the anchoring abilities. With R compound tyres, this braking force is capable of generating in excess of 1.6 Gs. That's almost unheard of for a street car. Thanks to Nismo's long-standing relationship with Rays, Forge LM GT4 were the ideal wheel choice, dressed in the trademark Nismo black no less. 18 by 9.5 all round, the custom +5 offset was specifically chosen to match the car's wider girth, not to mention the much more aggressive stance. For tyres, it's either the Bridgestone Potenza RE01R or the RE55S Semi-Slicks. If nothing else was shown to you but the wheel combination, you would still know this thing means business. With a history rich in super touring, you'd expect something special below the hood, and you're not disappointed. The internals of the power plant bears little resemblance to the road-going RB26. The Nismo Z2 engine is effectively the same used in the Nürburgring 24-hour. A GT500 spec block is bored to 87.9mm, with the crankshaft having benefited from die forging and fillet rolling. What's equally impressive is the Z-Tune features no less than 6 heat exchangers, 2 oil coolers, front mount intercooler, aluminium radiator and a transmission and rear differential cooler peering out from underneath the rear bar. That may seem like overkill, but a 2.8 litre, 8.5:1 compression ratio and an 8,000 RPM motor that pumps out 368 kilowatts and 640 newton meters of torque means that this thing needs all the cooling it can get. So what is this package good for on a straight line? Well, how does a quarter-mile time of 10.06 seconds on street-legal tyres sound? A lot of these components are almost irreplaceable, so we can only imagine what sort of heinous prices they would command. You might think it is effectively a race car with number plates thrown on for good measure, but it is far from that. Since its inception, the Z-Tune was designed to be a road car, and road cars need to meet crash test safety standards and emissions. Nismo engineers have whispered off the record that if emissions didn't have to be met, the Z2 engine would be capable of putting out 463 kilowatts. The term supercar killer is bandied around quite often, mostly referring to modern-day low-cost performance cars that can upset the most exotic of machinery. But they don't have anything on this, and neither do the supercars. The Z-Tune is like nothing else, and we can thank Nismo for that.